Good evening, matriarchs, chiefs, people. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. It's great to see a lot of young people running. I come from the Joseph family with Semotuch. My dad, Caroline, Joseph, my mom. Only got a minute, so I gotta put everything. I got a platform. I've been working at it for the last 32 years with you as a representative and voice at the table. I've worked, I continue to be community involved. I've been in sports, education, a lot of the community events, including ceremonial work. I will continue to do that. I'm drug and alcohol free since 1990. I continue to stay that way and to support anybody that chooses to take that same path. My platforms includes education, as we all support education, lands and resources, and economic development, revenue. And I just got touched on the shoulder. Okay, so that's about it. I intend to be your voice at the table. Thank you.
Ocean Sese. So your question comes from Lands and Resources, and your question is, what do you think our main resources are? And how do you suggest we protect them?
I think our main resources are our children. Our children have been taken away from us. They have been imposed on. Even as parents, we couldn't protect our children through legislation. I believe that what we need to do is use the legislation to take the opportunity to take away those stigmas that were put forward. Like I heard earlier, education is key. And also empowerment. We have to empower our children. We have to enhance what we have. I think that's a great asset that we can't say enough. Our lands, of course, we all know our lands are important. We have little resources right now on our lands. And we need to be looking at our traditional territories, and I intend to help anybody that gets on Chief and Council to support you in regards to acquiring more lands for our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's say, Johan Manhattan Spallowitz. So our next number is 0876627. Gracias.
Tanoya, Mitsagredos, Ayas Chaptanoya, Ayas Chaptanoya. Peace to each and every one of you this evening. I'm really happy to be here. What I believe in is laying down a foundation for our people, a foundation for the future. And I think that a good way to do that is through governance, a governance model, constitution, and a financial foundation. I think there are different ways we can work with that. I think we have some brilliant people who have been running our business so far, and I hold my hands up to all of the Chief and Council, the past Chief and Councils, and present Chief and Council. I also want to say that I would advocate for housing and education that are important to our people as well for our foundation.
Thank you very much, Kenya. So your question comes from Sports and Culture. And your question is, how would you encourage sports and recreation to our younger children who are into games, Xbox, PlayStation, etc., etc.?
Okay, so I've played sports in the past, and I have watched a lot. I've watched our guys play lacrosse for many, many years. I think to encourage our people, we need to have our stars step up to the plate and encourage our young children to excel. I think that especially watching a long time ago, the canoe pullers and how they worked and how they were dedicated to the sport, I think that knowledge can come forward, and I think there's a lot of traditional knowledge that can come from that. Everything we do in the community, sports, weaving, for instance, a lot of teachings can come from that, and they end up always being the same teachings, I think, that circulate in the community, and it's all, I think it's all, it all links together, and I think that builds us a strong foundation. Knowing our culture through sports and through art is very important to our people.
Let's see, one hot. Us followers. KBSCM. So our next number is 0876 619. 619.
Take a picture.
All my relations, my relatives, in this great First Salish kingdom we all live in. And one of my points was to take care of our land and resources for our generations that are growing up. We need them to be stable and well off by the time they are old and leave their way with their children. And I would like to also have education looked at. There's a lot of our children that have dyslexia, and we want to make sure that that is recognized in our school systems. And I would like to make sure that we all share goodwill to each other. And I recognize the council staff that does a great job to keep Squamish Man in a good way of helping us keep everything going. And I would like to also mention that for the elders and the teenagers, we'd like to help them out as much as possible and help them learn.
Thank you very much. We're just, so your question comes from education, and your question is, there are many types of ways a person can be educated. Please name a few.
A lot of times people think that our kids have a short attention span because of watching TV. So that is part of something that I recognize in dyslexia. We think 32 times per second compared to a regular person that thinks 4 times per second. So it's not ADHD. It's dyslexia. We need to recognize that that is where we have a lot of thinking going on in our head, and it's really good thinking. But I noticed that we have changed the world of the people that are dyslexic, and the world wouldn't be the way it is today. So we need to recognize that and help look forward into changing it. And to help all the students that need 80%, 70% to get into university, to make sure that our children get there and go to university, and make sure that they do be watched carefully, that the marks don't drop, and we need to help them out as much as possible, because our future is a young generation that has to go to university or other schools that will help them in the workforce. We need all the education that my dad would always say. We need education, and that will help a lot of us go a long way in our life. Where's he?
Thank you very much. Hold on. So,